people talk about buying houses for $1,000. I know it sounds too good to be true, but let me break it down and tell you the truth about it. Generally, you can find these properties in the South and in the Midwest where you can buy land or houses for $1,000. Now, I'm located in Charlotte, North Carolina, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on the screen the process of how I found my local tax sales for this city. So what you wanna do is you wanna go to Google and you wanna put in whatever city you're in, tax sales, okay? Then you're gonna scroll down and look for the current auctions. Some places, they always have auctions going around. Some places, they do auctions quarterly, every 6 months, or once a year. Just all depends on that municipality, all right? Everybody's going to be different. All right, so let's say you show up to the auction and you end up buying one of these properties. Now, first things first, please research how does their auction process work. So in the state of North Carolina, we have what is called a upset bid period. So meaning a property that has a bid for $8,000, right? Well, their bid has to stay good for 7 days. And on the seventh day at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's the winner. Now, if somebody within the 7 days or within the last 5 minutes upset the bid, well, their bid has to be good for another 7 days. Now, this is something that happens in North Carolina. Most places, when it goes to auction, what it sells for at the auction, that's what it goes for, okay? Simple, that day, and you have to pay them that day, or you have X amount of days to get the money in. Now, with this, right, you want to find out their process for the state, okay? So every state is different, so make sure you research that. Or you can call down to the tax office and ask them, hey, listen, now at the day of auction, what the property sells for, that's what it sells for, or is there an upset bid period? When buying these properties in most places that are tax lien states, so for example, South Carolina, it's a tax lien state. North Carolina is a tax deed state. So I am going to talk about South Carolina for right now. It's right next to North Carolina where I'm located. And I got some properties out there and some current projects going on. So with that being said, in South Carolina, what happens is the property goes to auction, okay? Once it goes to auction, whoever wins, that's it, right? So let's say you get a property for $1,000, right? Sometimes it may be two, sometimes it may be 5,000, 8,000, 10,000, sometimes it may be more. Well, what happens is you have the lien on that house, right? Once you get that lien, now, if the owner does not pay you back plus interest after 1 year and a day, well, what happens at that point is you're gonna get the deed to that house, right? You're gonna get the deed to that house. Now, once you get the deed to that house, does that mean you can fix it up and put a renter in it or fix it up and sell it? You can, but you can't. Let me get into that. So once you win that house for $1,000, and let's say it needs $7,000 in work, right? Well, you put $7,000 in it, okay? And you decide to rent out the property for $800 a month, right? Well, this is what people don't talk about. The owner who lost that property at auction in South Carolina, they got 10 years to come back and get that property, okay? 10 years. So that means they can pay you back from the tax sale plus interest to that date and take back the house, okay? They can do that for up to 10 years. After 10 years, you can get what's called title insurance, where they insure the title saying, hey, this title is good, and if anybody wants to make a claim, we're gonna insure this and pay you back your money. Now, let's go back. Let's say you buy the property, you fix it up, buy it for $1,000, you put $7,000 in it, you're renting it out for $800 a month, right? A great return. Well, let's dig deep into that, right? The way that works is, let's say somebody comes back year 4, they get an attorney, they file the proper paperwork to get their property back. And some states, they're going to be more lenient towards the property owner, right? Well, they can take that property back, right? Not only take that property back, but the money you put in it, you do not get paid back. I repeat, the money you put in it, you don't get paid back. You get paid back what you won it for at auction, your $1,000 plus interest. The money you put into the house, well, it goes back to them. So it can be risky, but it's a good strategy. So for example, right, I bought some land. I didn't know it came from a tax sale, right? And for me buying that land, I was getting ready to build a house there, and I was refinancing the property. And the attorney, this is when I found all this out about tax sales. It was like, this is a tax sale property, and the person you bought this house from, I don't think they were properly served because they was in jail when they lost the property. Well, to make a long story short, I caught up with the individual and paid him for his signature, and he was waiting. He was like, hey, I already got the attorney if you want to do it there, but he was waiting for me to build the house and start the process to take the house back. So it's a dirty game. He didn't do anything wrong. He was just playing the game how it go. So make sure you understand this part of the tax foreclosure. So let's say I would have built the house, right? Well, what would have happened? He would have paid me back what he lost the property for, plus the interest, and he would have got the house. I would have probably still owed the lender. Not probably, I would have still owed the lender that money. So you want to be able to know, like, all right, who are the people involved? Is there a chance of them coming back, etc.? Like, and when I say no, meaning like you want to have an idea. Like if they're out of state, more than likely, they're probably not going to come and get it. If it's air property, more than likely, they're not going to do anything. But this is a real issue, and I thought you guys should know about the tax sales. So when you're calling to these different states, if you want to get involved in this, make sure you ask the person that's working in the tax office, etc. Hey, by chance, do you know how long I have to wait before I can get title insurance? Now, they probably work for the city, so they wouldn't know. So you might have to do your Googles and research in reference to when can you get title insurance. Because once you can get title insurance, you're covered for your purchase. You're not covered for what you fix up, all right? You're not covered for the money you put in the property. You ain't covered for that. Now, I know what some of you saying, well, this is too risky. Well, what you can do is once you get the property, you can go get an attorney and file for what's called a quiet title. Now, I had an attorney in South Carolina quote me. He said on average his clients is spending $9,000. I was told by other investors that you can probably get it done by $3,500. I got quoted $9,000. So you want to find a real estate attorney, because once you, if you don't want to wait the 5 years or 10 years, whatever, how many years it is that you must own that property, call a real estate attorney's office. Got to be a real estate attorney, and ask them like, hey, do you do quiet titles? And they say, yeah, like, how much do you charge for that? And they'll let you know. So I'm just putting y'all up on game. So listen, guys, are you interested in buying at the auction? Have you ever bought at the auction? Comment below. In the meantime, watch this video next to me of a guy who tried to take back my land. I'm Nasser, aka the real estate guru. I'm not a guru, I'm a duru, because I actually do this business. Peace.